Yes, you were reelected, but this is the first challenge you have faced in 15 years as leader. 10 senators voted against you, 1 voted president. So what lesson did you learn from this, and will you change your approach at all?
Yeah, first, I don't own this job. Anybody who wants to run for it can feel free to do so. And so I'm not in any way offended by having an opponent or having a few votes in opposition. As everyone has said, we had a good opportunity to discuss the various differences. People had a chance to listen to both candidates. And I'm pretty proud of 37 to 10.
Mr. Leader, can you respond to former President Trump announcing that he plans to run for re-election? And do you believe that will help or hinder your chances in the Georgia runoff?
The way I'm going to go into this presidential primary season is to stay out of it. I don't have a dog in that fight. I think it's going to be a highly contested nomination fight with other candidates entering, and it's all going to be quite good for you all to cover.
How do you think it will impact your runoff in Georgia? Do you want former President Trump to come to Georgia?
We're going to do everything we can to get Herschel Walker elected. We can't pretty well determine who's going to come in, and we'll see how that develops. Yeah.
Mr. Leader, as Monty said, first challenge in 15 years, has it made it more or less likely that you might consider stepping aside once you beat Mike Mansfield's record?
Look, I'm not going anywhere. Carl? Were you, Carl?
Yeah, so Senator, but we did hear from members that they wanted more inclusiveness, that some members feel they're being left out of the decisions, the process, the committees aren't working the way they should work. Do you think, are you going to make any changes along those lines?
Yeah, as you all know, I think a little differently from the Democrats. We meet 3 times a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, have pretty fulsome discussions. And as Senator Cornyn pointed out in the meeting, any 5 of us can call a conference to discuss any particular issue. So we acquainted our members with the tools that they have, if they have an idea they want to promote, to convene a conference, just 5 of them, for discussion. And I think that'll be used more often. I certainly welcome it. One of the nice things about being in the Senate as opposed to the House, you don't have so many people. And we're together a lot. And there are opportunities all over the place to float new ideas. I've never been opposed to it and won't be going forward.
And now a political question that might be a little touchy, but we have Alderman Sophia King, who is looking like she wants to run, may announce later this week, and perhaps Chuy Garcia, and maybe the governor would like to weigh in, since there are reports that the governor is interested in supporting him. What are you thinking about all of that?
Not much. What do the residents of this city want me to do? They want me to do my job. They want me to focus on public safety. They want me to make sure that we are continuing to deliver on an equitable and inclusive recovery from the pandemic. That's what I'm focused on every day. The noise over here, over there, you know, it's the silly season, as I've been saying now for many, many months. Lots of folks are going to make noises. They like to see their names in print. But what I'm doing every day is doing the job that the voters elected me to do, and that I feel confident if I continue to execute, I'm going to get 4 more years to continue the work.
Thanks, Mayor. If I may add just to that answer, first of all, that rumor that you keep repeating about Chuy Garcia, absolutely untrue. Absolutely untrue. Happy to take a question from Craig Wall.
Well, Governor, while you're up there, just one other thing we heard from Darren Bailey today. He said the question that he would want to be asking voters is, do you feel safer than 4 years ago, and has your quality of life gotten better over the last 4 years? He said the answer is a pretty quick no. Do you think voters are going to be agreeing with him, or can you respond to that?
I think voters have seen that Darren Bailey is a hypocrite, that when he says he is pro-public safety and then votes against expanding our crime labs, votes against adding police, votes against us being able to solve crimes quickly, that he is not somebody who actually has public safety in mind. He's a hypocrite on so many things. He's somebody who thinks that that abortion is a greater tragedy than the Holocaust. He doesn't deserve to be thought of in the leadership of our state, and he's somebody who doesn't understand what it takes to lead through difficult times. We've had a very, very challenging 2.5 years fighting through a deadly global pandemic, which, by the way, he told people mostly to ignore, and as a result of that, thousands more people died than should have.
If we can follow up with the awkward questions for 200 to the mayor.
But let me just jump in on that last question regarding Darren Bailey. And Governor, you'll get a kick out of this. I've met the guy twice. The first time is the first time that I went to Springfield as mayor, and he came up with another gleeful little pack. They called themselves the Successionist, and at that time, what they were advocating for, you remember this, right? They wanted to succeed from the state of Illinois. So does that tell you that that's a guy that wants to actually lead this great state? No. The second time I met him was in the House Republican caucus, where he aggressively, literally came up to confront me because he said, quote unquote, "I don't like the way you talk about my president." He was talking about President Trump, to which I said, "I don't like the way your president is talking about my city. And if he continues to, I'm going to keep calling him out every single day." So here's a guy that the day after the primary said, I want to meet with Mayor Lightfoot. And then today, when he gets the FOP endorsement, is fire and brimstone about how terrible Chicago is. Well, which Darren Bailey is showing up? Right? It's not a person who, by the way, educates himself about anything related to the city of Chicago. Newsflash, Darren, homicides down 16%, shootings down 20%, and we are going to do better this year. Newsflash, Darren Bailey, you want to be the governor of the state, but you continually attack and denigrate. It's 50%, 60% of the state economy, and if you add in Chicagoland, it's about 80%. So the politics of division and dystopia, which he keeps swinging towards, depending on which base he's pandering to, they don't match up with the realities on the ground in our city, and I don't think they match up with the reality on the ground in cities across the state and the progress that we've made coming out of the pandemic, precisely because of our leadership, the governor's leadership, and the leadership of mayors across the state. But also, what you see is a guy who, depending on what camera's in front of him, what audience he's in front of, is going to say and do anything to pander to that crowd. So his Republican right-wing money is drying up. So now suddenly moving away from, I want to meet with the mayor and talk to her, to, this is a hellhole and we've got to throw all the bums out. This feckless person, no way, no how, deserves to be taken seriously, and he certainly doesn't deserve anyone's vote to be governor of the state. We have a governor that's leading us, and he's standing right here. His name is J.B. Pritzker.
Well, I guess that sets me very up nicely for the question I was going to ask. Last week, when you got the endorsement from Tammy Duckworth, the governor deferred, said he wanted to wait till after the November election. Have you had any discussions with the governor since then about seeking his endorsement, and do you expect to get one?
Well, obviously, my conversations with the governor about things that are political, if we decide we're going to reveal them, we'll reveal them. But what both of us are focused on, and what I know I'm focused on, is what I said before. The people of the city elected me to do a job, which is to lead through adversity, to lead through challenging times, to make sure that we are focused on bringing everybody to the table, economic development to every neighborhood, and that's precisely what I've done for the last 3.5 years, and that's what I'm going to do going into this election and winning and victoriously next year. So that's what I'm going to be focused on. The noise is going to come. You guys, I understand, are doing your job. You're going to continue to ask me questions about this one, that one, the other thing. What we need to focus on And what our residents deserve is leadership that cares about them, that is making sure that we're reflecting the realities of their lived experience in everything we do every single day. That's the lane that I'm running in. That's where I'm going to stay.
Thanks, Mayor. That's a wrap, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day.